Hi, everybody. Welcome to podcast number 13, I think.
Yeah.
I forgot my notebook today.
Whoops.
Yeah. Today, we're going to talk about one of our all-time favorite subjects, and that is crystals and stones.
Oh, yes.
We are both really, really into rocks. And I used to have a rock shop, and I've always been total rock hound. I was the kid that, picked rocks in the field and wanted to take them all home and pile them up in my bedroom. And
wanted to or did? Because
I did. Well,
I
I lived on a farm, and I got to drive the tractor when we picked rocks out of the field, and because I was the oldest grandkid, so I had a hard time letting them go when I picked them up, but my glasses are fogging up. Yeah, and everywhere I go, still to this day, I pick up a rock, and it's contagious. I mean, our family is all pretty much rock hounds. My grandkids love to pick them, and my husband, and we all do. It's a fun, really fun thing to do with family.
Right.
Whether you just like to collect them, but really, even if you like to collect them and you're into that, usually it's because of the energy, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So how about you? What do you love about them?
Well, I love rocks and crystals for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
For me, a big one is the energy, because rocks and crystals are natural, loving beings that are here to help us. Mm-hmm. And they're connected to the earth, which is very grounding and loving. And different stones have different properties, which we'll talk about a little bit today. But also, I love them for meditation. I love them to help focus. I love them to make spaces feel really good. I love them as pocket stones to help me with my own healing. I love to use them in my healing work. We both do Reiki with crystals, and we both do different types of crystal work for people in healing and things like that. And I love to teach about it too. I have courses on that as well. So for me, they just are a natural part of my life. And I grew up rock hounding too. My dad would take us rock picking.
Oh, cool.
And my mom hated it because I had drawers full of quartz and agates and other rocks that I really liked, but because it felt really good. I love to hold them. I love how they feel. I love, and I didn't really know at the time how helpful they are to us in general. So
right. Yeah. And as kids, kids are always drawn to what is good for them or what they love, and they don't have the filter built in like we've gained through our age, and so kids are always loving to pick up rocks and bringing them to you. Look at this one, and they always love to have them around, and it's because of the energy. They're just drawn to that good energy. So yeah. Turn the fan on.
Oh, it's toasty in our office today. We have an office that doesn't have a lot of air conditioning.
And it is.
And it's 90 degrees in October.
Right.
In North Dakota. Why?
It's okay.
I mean, I like that it's warm.
Yeah.
But it's very strange.
Yeah. Because next month it could be below zero.
It probably
don't want that to happen.
It probably will be, yes. And snowing a lot.
Yeah. So we're good with any warm temps we get this time of year.
Yes, we do enjoy it. True.
Yeah. Yeah. So so talk about a little bit about the science behind the energy of stones. You're better at that. Relate.
We both know the science of how crystals work and how they can really help us, but I love to talk about it.
Yeah. And I'm more into I love the energy of it. So it's more natural, and I don't that part of it. I like to talk about. I teach a lot about the chakras and what stones to use for that. So, but you're more of the science.
It's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the science about it. One thing that is something that we know about crystals is that they generate something called the piezoelectric effect. So the piezoelectric effect is when you add any type of either vibration or pressure to a crystal. And what it does is it creates a vibration within the crystal, which magnifies and creates electricity in a lot of cases. And so this is the reason why you find crystals in computers. This is the reason why you find crystals in watches and things like that, because it's a wonderful conductor. It's of electricity, creator of electricity, and it magnifies as well. So this is the effect that crystal healers use to heal, whether they realize it or not. You apply the vibration of the healing vibration and it magnifies it. So crystals are great magnifiers. They create more energy when applied to it. So you apply a certain amount of energy to a crystal and it magnifies it. I don't even know how many fold, 10-fold, 50-fold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold. Right. It's hard to really say. And it depends on the amount of energy that is put into it. So the more pressure or the more vibration or the more energy is put into a crystal, the more it will output also. And so that's why they are such an effective tool for healing. And they're such an effective tool for focus and for meditation and things like that, because they magnify the effect of what's going on. And so that's one of the reasons that I love to use them in every area of my life. And the thing that's really cool about crystals too is that each one is unique. Just like us, just like snowflakes, no crystal is exactly the same. And so each one has a different crystalline makeup, and that different crystalline makeup fits better with different people's vibrations. And so we're going to talk about later how to select crystals for yourself so that they work really well with your energy and they feel good and they're of the most use to you as well. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yep. I love it. So let's just kind of talk about some of the properties of crystals, and we have an arrangement here on our table.
We always have
and
rocks.
Usually, we always have rocks around the office. And let's just dive in, start talking about them. One thing that is really cool, before I really knew, I had learned about quartz, the energy of quartz, and knew that it was in watches and stuff, but when my husband and I first got married, we lived way up north by the Canadian border, and there was a jewel plant there, and they formed or worked with rubies to put in, and quartz, I believe, to put in watches. They were the ones that cut them and synced them down, made them the right sizes or to use in microchips and stuff like that. So it was really cool. And it was really people didn't know about it. They didn't they weren't a well-known place to go, and you couldn't go visit and tour the plant. But it was really cool to know, oh, that is something real. You hear about, a quartz watch. You don't really know that, it is really run by quartz.
It actually has quartz in it.
Yes. So it was cool to learn about that and to know that, there is something to that. It is real. It is an actual scientific thing that they do use them in computers and watches and all kinds of different things.
And what they're finding more and more is that stones are actually record keepers too.
Right.
And so they can store tons and tons and tons of information. And that's another way that rocks really can help you, is that it can help you with finding wisdom. It can help you with connecting to what in science they call the 0-point field, but we would call the Akashic records. They can really help you with remembering and healing and doing things in your own life as well. So they're beautiful record keepers of the earth, of our information. They can be used in computers. It's kind of amazing. Stones have so many properties that we know of and ones that are yet to be discovered. And it's really a fun topic.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, let's dive in. What are some of your favorite stones?
Oh my
I know it's
gosh.
hard to pick. It's really hard to pick.
I have so many
They're all my
favorites.
favorite. Yeah.
Well, one of my favorites that we actually have on the table here, so I'll pick it up, is selenite. So this is a bar of selenite. It's so wonderful. It's super high vibration. It feels really good to hold it. It's wonderful because it can do a lot of different things. It can clear other stones. So if you put other stones next to it or on top of it, it'll clear their energy. It can be beautiful for clearing your own energy in a lot of different ways. It's great to have in spaces and feel, I mean, it just feels awesome.
Yeah.
You'll find selenite, it's super common. You can also find it in lamps. I have a selenite lamp at home. It's like
Awesome.
a 2 foot, 3 foot tall one. It's great.
Cool.
You just feel really good
Yeah.
when it's like holding it. Like I'm like, I just feel,
Yeah.
I just want to
Yeah.
hold it all day.
Yeah. And it's one of the stones I use the most in Reiki when I'm doing energy work. You know, it clears the energy field. It attracts angel energy, loving energy. You can put it in your car for safe travel, and it will cut cords and just really clear out some yucky energy that people carry with them. And when you do energy work, it really helps to, you know, break those ties with it and allow it to be released. So
Right.
really one of my favorites too. I love it. It's one of the ones I use the most with energy work.
Yeah. I would say for people that are naturally high energy or that have trouble sleeping, maybe don't keep this in your bedroom all the time. Like if you're a person that has trouble sleeping, this is really high vibe. It could really make it difficult for you to sleep because it's like, oh, I just have all the energy and I feel really good.
Yeah.
And so for people that are sensitive to energy or have those other issues, I would say keep this somewhere else besides the bedroom, just because of that situational could happen.
Right. Could happen.
Could happen.
Yeah.
Doesn't always happen. I have a giant bar like this in my bedroom, but I don't have trouble sleeping.
Right. Yeah.
And when I go to sleep, I'm just out. So
yeah, me too. Doesn't bother me no matter what.
it depends on the person. And so just see
Yeah.
how it feels for you and where it feels good to keep it.
Yeah.
And just be aware, you know, that could happen.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, some people are affected way more with crystals than others. You know, if you're used to having them around all day, like I have a bowl of little crystals, you know, just little polished stones by my bed. And that's where I actually put my phone to charge. So I know that the rocks are collecting the energy and the radiation off of my phone. So it helps clear that energy out. But they never affect me, like make me hyper or like that. But I'm used to having them on me. I'm always filled with rocks.
Tracy has rocks everywhere.
Everywhere.
I'm used to having rocks everywhere too, but that's you know, it's something that you get used to over time, but just be aware that different ones can affect you in different ways. So it's just good to pay attention to that as well.
And if there is one that you notice that really makes you hyper or anything like that, do it in small doses, you know, only keep it around you for short periods of time until you get used to the energy of it. And then it probably will calm down for you.
Right.
But sometimes you want it to energize you too. So
exactly.
And you can tell it to do whatever you want.
Yes.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, there's only so many things that we can go over in this podcast, but I'm sure we'll do more deep dives later.
Yeah, we'll do some deep dives on specific. One of my favorites right now, I go in streaks where I'm drawn to a certain stone, but not lepidolite. Labradorite. This one I keep in my pocket all the time, and it's really good if you are an empath. If you tend to take on other people's energy, it's really good for healers like us to keep with you, because it will help you so you don't absorb what other people are letting go of. Like if you're doing Reiki, people are releasing emotions, or doing any kind of energy work, you know, they're releasing the emotions that they no longer need, and you don't want to pick that up. And you normally don't if you know how to do the work right. But this just really helps to keep you safe and not take on anybody else's energy. So this is one that I took out of my pocket, actually. I carry it with me almost every day. So it just helps, protect you.
There's a couple more protective stones that I really love too. Apache tears is one that I really love.
Really good.
Another one is shungite. I love shungite.
Yeah.
Shungite is actually a really wonderful stone for a lot of different things. It reflects energy back to people. It also absorbs toxins. And so a lot of people will put it in their water. Yeah. And it'll purify the water. Different cultures actually use it to purify their water.
Yeah. It adds fullerenes to your water. So it's really energizing to your water, and it's really, really a good stone. It absorbs any kind of electromagnetic energy and radiation. Like they make little ones to put on the back of your phone, or even to just wear for all of the Wi-Fi energy that we're in all the time, everywhere now. Right. And that is a good stone. And we don't have a sample of that one
we
here.
Don't have that.
It's a blackish gray stone. It feels different when you feel it. It's kind of light, and it's like carbon, or it's dull kind of. It's not really shiny ever.
It's not like a pretty stone, but it's like a wonderful stone for a lot of different things.
Really.
Another one similar to that too is black tourmaline.
Yeah.
And that one is wonderful also for radiation, also for reflecting back negative energies and things like that too.
Yeah. Another one is obsidian, or Apache tears, you called it.
Yeah, that's a big one and a little one.
Yeah. This one is mahogany obsidian, same kind of stone, but it just has some other color in it from whatever minerals are around in the earth. But obsidian is a volcanic glass.
I want to show them that one.
Yeah. Oh, I forget that I need to lift it up. But and it has the reds from the other minerals that are in the earth when it's formed, but it is formed in a really hot situation in the earth from the volcanoes, and you can see through it. Like if I would shine a light in here, you would be able to see it going into the stone. All obsidian you can see through, and if you can't see through it, then it's probably not obsidian like this. If you held it up to the light, it's really a light gray, not black like it looks here. But this is good to keep like by your modem. This one is by our modem here, and it's a really good absorber for any of that electromagnetic energy. I have them by my TVs in my house and by the modem at home. And I cleared a house one time, and some friends, their little boys were not sleeping well. And when they asked me to clear their house, and I figured out that their modem was in the basement, and it was right underneath the kids' bedroom. So they were feeling that energy. They were sensitive to it. And I put an obsidian by that, and it really helped their sleeping patterns.
Humans are really sensitive to electromagnetic energies.
Yeah.
And, electronics, the electronic fog that we live in every day now is huge.
Right.
And so if, you go to places and stuff, you feel uncomfortable, sometimes it's because there's so much electromagnetic energy in the air there that it makes you feel all sorts of things. People feel paranoid, uncomfortable, feel like they're watched. And sometimes it is just the electromagnetic energy in the air. Yeah. And they don't realize it. Yeah. But it is a thing. It's a huge thing.
Yeah. And that's why it's a good thing to carry a stone in your pocket. You'd be surprised how many people do it, and women in their bra, whatever,
pockets, shoes, whatever.
Yeah. Wherever you need them, do it. If you're drawn to do that, do it. Because it does help with that energy when you're in a place where it's really powerful, and it might bother you. Yeah,
absolutely. Another one that I really like that we have here is citrine.
Yeah,
I love it. So it's like a yellow to white stone. And what this is actually superheated amethyst. is what
Quartz,
citrine. Yeah, super
Yeah.
treated or heat treated
Yeah,
quartz, amethyst.
yeah, quartz, amethyst, and citrine are all the same makeup.
Mhm.
It's how hot the earth got when they were formed is what makes the color.
Yeah, which is
Really
super cool
cool.
because it changes,
Yeah,
it changes the properties of it. It's so
Yeah.
awesome. But I love citrine for a lot of reasons. It's a good stone for manifestation. So
Mhm.
if you have this stone in your pocket, it's really good for like if you want your thoughts to begin to manifest in your being. If you're really focused on goals, if you're really wanting to increase vibration, it's also really good for certain chakras. So we'll talk about that later. It's a really good healing stone. It's again another really high vibe stone. So it's one that feels really awesome. But I love it, especially for manifestation and for meditation and things like that. It's really good
Yeah.
for focusing.
Yeah. It's also good for if you are an empath, it helps to protect you from other people's energy.
Also
And-
good for electromagnetic energy.
Yeah.
So I've
Yeah.
done muscle testing with different stones
Mhm.
and on which ones actually help protect you from the electromagnetic energy from your phone. And this is a really good one. This one is awesome. Black tourmaline is also super awesome. And I mean, the ones that we all talked about
Yeah.
are really good for that. But I found that this one is super effective with that as
Awesome.
well. So if you are you drawn to this stone, I mean, if you have a bracelet or a necklace or something or earrings or something made of citrine, it can be super helpful for that as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Really good. And to just stay in the quartz family, amethyst is called the sobriety stone. A lot of people use it for calming and for addictions. It helps with that, helps calm your anxiety. Really good for any kind of calming down, It's also good for your third eye and your higher chakras. Really good for intuition, help to grow that.
I also love
That's
it for
awesome.
sleep. I have
Oh,
a amethyst geode that's always by my bed. It's very calming and
Nice.
relaxing, helps me to
Awesome.
sleep well,
Yeah,
especially if you have nightmares and things like that. I find it to be really useful.
very good. Yeah, we have at our office an amethyst biomat, and it has little chips of amethyst sewn all the way into it. Uses long wave infrared light, and it's very relaxing, and it is scientifically proven to reduce stress and anxiety in your body and pain. Good for pain too.
Yes.
So that's an awesome one. Another quartz family rock is rose quartz.
Oh,
It's
yes.
pink, really good for your heart chakra, really brings calming energy like amethyst. It's a beautiful stone, and a lot of people are drawn to rose quartz. I have a cool story about rose quartz. One time my husband was working out in the oil patch, and there was a gal that had this dog that was just hyper, and every time she left for work, she worked for a friend of ours in the office, and she was complaining because her dog just would go crazy when she'd leave from work for work every day, and she couldn't control it. He was just bad. He'd get into stuff when she was gone, dig in the garbage, whatever. And so Dawn gave her a rose quartz and said, here, bring this to your dog and just set it by the kennel, and maybe he'll just mellow out. And so she did. She brought it, and she laid it on the floor in the middle of the living room. The dog went and put his paws on it and just laid there with it under his paws. And she was just like, oh my God, he's just laying there with this rock. And so she went to work. It was her lunch break. She went to work, came back home at 5 o'clock. The dog was still sitting there with that rock and was just mellow as could be. Never had a problem again. It was so cool. So
wow.
There's a lot of cool stories that I have with rocks. When we had our rock shop, we used to give them as gifts a lot, and it's amazing how they can change a person's life. So anyway, rose quartz, if you want more love in your life, if you want more calmness, really a good one to have.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
Yeah.
I have one that I wear every single day. And this is a piece I got from Tracy's Rock Shop. Don actually, her husband, actually created this piece. And this stone is an azurite, and it has inclusions of malachite in it. And I love it. It's a wonderful throat chakra stone, good for communication.
Mhm.
I wear it every day.
Yeah.
For me, it's like kind of like my partner in crime. Love this guy. But it's wonderful for working with your higher chakras and your intuition, beautiful for communication. I always wear it when I do my mediumship. I just find that it just helps to intensify the energies of being able to communicate more easily, and for me to vocalize and communicate more clearly, just because historically I'm an introvert. Shockingly, right? I mean, both of us are.
Yeah.
But you know more about the malachite side of it. Would you tell us a little bit about malachite and the properties of that? Because I am not as familiar with that.
Yeah, malachite is another good stone for abundance. Really good for that. It's another heart chakra stone, so it's good for your heart, good for helping you release those ideas that you aren't enough or that you can't have what you want. It just helps you get rid of that or release it so that the abundance can come to you. It's not it's really strong, so some people can't wear it every day like a full-on piece of malachite. I've had people say, oh, I could only wear it for a couple hours. And then I was like, whoa, what's going on? And
it's one of those you build up your tolerance.
You build up your tolerance. And when it's mixed with other stones, it's more calm. It's not so strong. So yeah, that's a good one. Sometimes you'll find malachite in caves. It will it's a metamorphic stone, I think it's called. I've been out of that every day. I used to be in it every day all the time. Now I forgot some of the terms, but metamorphic stone. So it will grow over top of some stones, and that's why you find it with yours. It can morph over top of other stones, just like pyrite. Pyrite will do that too. And pyrite is fool's gold. It looks like gold. And it's a metamorphic stone too, so it will grow on top of things. You can find a lot of like seashells and stuff like that will have pyrite growing on them. So yeah, cool stone. I love malachite. That's one of my favorite, just like all of them are.
And I do actually have like a malachite very similar to this as well.
Yeah,
which I love.
Yeah, I have a malachite bracelet and earrings, and good for luck, so if I am wanting to feel lucky or
or if we have a casino
or whatever, go to the casino. Yeah, I wear my malachite and citrine.
Yep, citrine hold my Apache tears too.
Right. Yeah, so those are good to use. Another on the green note, and green stones are always good for your heart chakra. Remember that. The colors of the stone coordinate with the colors of the chakras, so you can, and they don't have to be in that same color, but to use for your chakras. Mostly with stones, always go with your gut or your heart, or muscle testing with them. If your body wants that stone and you're drawn to it, that's the one you need, whether it's for something totally different. It doesn't matter. Follow what you're drawn to. Right. So this is a green calcite.
I love calcite.
Yeah, calcite is a really cool stone, and it comes in a lot of different colors. And the way that I can tell calcite anytime is it feels kind of waxy.
Yeah,
it's not a real soft stone, kind of soft. I mean, it's a lot softer than quartz. You can't scratch it or anything like that with your fingernail, but it does feel waxy or shiny or something, but
Yeah,
it
they're shiny, but yeah, it feels
different than a
waxy.
quartz. Yeah.
It's a cool feeling. I love it.
Yeah.
I love those as pocket stones, hand stones, and things like that.
Yeah.
I actually have a huge piece of green calcite that
cool.
sits in my living room, and I just love it. I like to hold it.
Yeah.
Like when I do meditations and stuff like that. It's a really neat stone.
Yeah.
I love it.
And any of the heart stones are calming. They're really relaxing, really tune you into your inner being. So that's awesome. Another good calming stone is lepidolite.
Oh yes.
And lepidolite is kind of sparkly. This one is a little bit dull, but this
like
one has been carried around for a lot. Yeah, it's lavender and has sparkles in it. It has I can't think of the word right now. It'll come to me, but it's really good for anxiety. People that are maybe like have some mental health issues and they're really fearful, any of that kind of emotion, lepidolite is really good for that. So carry one in your pocket, have a bracelet, necklace with it. It's a really good stone. Recommend it a lot to people going through counseling or addictions or anything like that, along with amethyst.
Yeah.
But this one is more on the really calming.
Yeah, it really helps a lot with anxiety.
Yeah. What else?
Absolutely.
What's next?
We have so many rocks because we could go through rocks forever.
Right.
But Tracy, you talked a little bit about the chakras, right?
Mhm.
And so do you want to tell us a little bit about just maybe talk about maybe the colors of the chakras of the body? So the chakra, like what they are, and then tell us a little bit about the colors. So then people could maybe at home, if they're interested in working on a particular area of their life, they could look for stones to match that chakra color.
Right. Yeah. I work with 9 chakras usually, mostly what you'll hear about 7, but the foot chakra is brown. So, and the reddish, the adobe colors. Yeah.
Like we have tiger iron here and jasper as well.
Yeah, red jasper and tiger eye. And this is not, I want to say amethyst, and it's not amethyst. Amber. Amber. This is really light. It's amber. And it's kind of the browns too. So another one would be mahogany obsidian. So these are all grounding stones. Even pyrite would be good for that foot chakra.
Yeah.
And the root chakra. Root chakra is more red. That is and
the jasper would
be the
really
red
great.
jasper is good for that. There's a little one there too. So any of these adobe and reddish color stones are good for that. Really calming. Tiger eye is good, and a lot of boys are drawn to tiger eye. Little boys. Like in school, I have a friend that was a teacher and she's retired now, but she kept tiger eye in her room and obsidian. And one time she had a classroom that was a lot of kids that were hyperactive or always in trouble, disrupting the class. And she taped little Apache tears under the chairs of the kids, and they all calmed down. She had an amazing year with those kids, and they were always happy, and they loved her as a teacher. And the energy doesn't lie.
Right. And that's actually really funny. I actually have a story about the obsidian too, is because you guys gifted me a bunch of Apache tears. And what I did is I took them to work because I worked in a very stressful environment. It was, I loved what I did and the people I worked with were wonderful, but it was super stressful. And so I was like, you know what? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to gift everybody in my office an Apache chair that they can have at their desk. And then I had like a little shell with a bunch of them at my desk too, so I could give them to new people and stuff like that. So when I decided to do this, I gave one everyone, and I said, this is just for calming. It feels really good. It's good for stress and for getting rid of negative energy and things like that. And they're like, okay, whatever. But after that, there wasn't pettiness. People weren't complaining as much. It was more relaxing. When clients came in, they were more relaxed. We didn't have any blowouts. Nobody got super mad. It was a huge difference.
Calm the drama.
And it just calmed, like all of the drama just calmed it straight down. And it was so cool to watch, because, people don't even realize it. They don't even recognize that the energy has shifted.
Right.
But it shifted the energy in that whole office. We felt more like a team. We were able to talk to each other. It was great.
That's awesome.
It makes a difference.
Yeah.
Rocks can make a difference. You never know how much they can help you in your life until you bring them into your life.
Yeah.
Bring them into your life and then put them out of your life again and see the difference.
Yeah.
But don't actually take them out of your life.
Yeah.
Like, don't put them aside for like a day and notice the difference is really what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah. 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 So back to the chakras. So we did the root chakra, the foot chakra, root chakra. Then is the sacral chakra.
That's right below your belly button.
Yep.
Gently.
And we don't have an orange stone with us right now.
But
you could use tiger eye, or you could use amber. That's kind of oranges, and amber comes in different shades of the amber color.
One of my favorite ones for that chakra is carnelian.
Carnelian is good.
It's great for creativity, for sexual health, for
Yeah.
energy, for everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So the orange is that chakra. Then we'll move up to the solar plexus, and that's yellow. So any of the yellow stones, again, tiger eye could be used for that. Citrine is my favorite for the solar plexus.
And that's about where your stomach is.
Yeah, and your digestive, all your digestive organs, they're in that solar plexus. And solar plexus needs to be recognized because everyone has digestive issues right now. It seems like the last few years, and your digestion is, the solar plexus is where you hold those grudges and anger and all of that kind of stuff, that drama. And if you hang on to that and don't release it, it manifests into a physical problem. So, and that's more on energy work that we'll talk about another time. But any of the yellow stones, and they can go in different shades, and they're all good for those chakras. So just look out if you have trouble with that. Look for a yellowish stone. There's calcite, a yellow calcite that's really good too.
My favorite one is honey calcite.
Yeah.
And that's like a yellowy color.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
So those are good. Next is the heart chakra. That is pink or green, either one, interchangeable, or use both. I like to use both of them. Like I'll use green calcite and rose quartz, and put one in your bra.
Yep.
That's a good place for a green stone or pink.
Or wear it as a necklace.
Yeah.
You actually have a pink stone on today.
Yeah. I have a rhodochrosite on my necklace today. So that's a pink stone. It matches my shirt is why I wore it, but because I'm matchy like that. But it's a good heart chakra stone, and it on a necklace, it hangs right at your heart chakra. So a good stone. Also calming, bringing more love into your life, bringing more love. If you're feeling a little bit unworthy or something like that, or not as confident as you want to be, you can, or you feel like you need a hug, wear a pink stone or a green stone on your heart chakra. So,
and green is also very healing as well.
Yeah. Yep. Green is always healing. Throat chakra is next. That's a blue stone. You could use turquoise. Larimar is my probably all-time favorite stone. I have a different favorite every day, but Larimore is always my favorite. Good for your throat chakra. And your throat chakra, I teach a class about chakras, but throat chakra includes your ears too. So all of that communication is really what that throat chakra is all about. Speaking your truth, not speaking when you should be calming down a little bit, just knowing when to speak what you need. Turquoise too is kind of a protection stone, really good if when you're traveling. You should always have turquoise with you. My husband has two favorite stones. Turquoise is one and covalite is the other. And he always has a turquoise in his pocket. I always make sure I have turquoise with me when I go on a road trip or I'm traveling. It's always good protection stone. And in, stones, all of the things and properties of the stones aren't made up. If you notice in ancient times, like cowboys always wore, and Native Americans always wore turquoise. And it was to keep them from falling when they were on horseback. They always knew to keep a turquoise with them, and it kept them safe when they were riding. So the properties come from way back when, ancient Egyptians and, in the pyramids and ancient ruins, they always find stones on headgear and breastplates and stuff like that. They used a lot of stones and they used them for a purpose. It was the energy of them. So, yeah. Another blue stone is blue azurite. Apatite.
I love blue apatite.
Yeah.
And it comes in beautiful colors, anything from like a light blue all the way through like blue green.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous stone.
Yeah, it's really good. And this is good for eyesight too. That's one of the things I remember about this one.
I need to carry blue apatite more often then.
Yeah, I like to
terrible eyesight.
I like to lay on the biomat actually and put apatite on my eyes when I'm laying there. That really feels good. Awesome. Try it sometime.
I will now.
Yeah. Another one is kyanite, blue kyanite.
I love blue kyanite.
Yeah, also really good for the throat chakra. And kyanite comes in different colors too. There's a green and a black. Yeah, but I love blue kyanite. And this is kind of, it'll peel off, it's a soft stone, but you can find it polished sometimes and used for jewelry.
Right.
In jewelry.
I have a polished piece. It's kind of like selenite in that, it does flake off.
Yeah.
It breaks kind of easily. So a polished one, if you're looking to have as a pocket stone, is probably a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, it is layers.
The same with lepidolite too. If you don't get a polished one, sometimes it can kind of flake off.
Yeah.
And you'll get little flecks all over your hands like fairy dust.
Yeah. Yeah. And you'll wonder, what is that?
What is this?
Yeah, it's a real soft stone. Lithium is what I was thinking of that is in the lepidolite, and that's what really calms you down.
And there's actually a lithium quartz as well, which is wonderful for people if you have anxiety or any type of difficulties with like thoughts and things like that. Awesome. Lepidolite is amazing, and so is lithium quartz.
Yeah. I have a funny story about lithium quartz. My sister-in-law was wearing one on a necklace, a lithium quartz, and it was a beautiful stone and beautiful necklace. And she was wearing it every day. And one day I'm like, what is wrong with you? You're just a zombie. And she's normally upbeat and always laughing and, joking and, always uplifting. And she was just so mellow for a few days. And I'm like, what's going on with you? And she's like, I don't know. I feel really good. I don't know. I'm just mellow, I guess. And then she noticed, then we started learning about lithium quartz, and I'm like, you have a lithium quartz necklace on. And she had been wearing every day for a couple of weeks, and she took it off, and that's what it was.
gosh.
So
I've
yeah,
never heard of it having such an effect. I suppose if
Yeah.
you wear it every day, it
right.
makes sense.
Yeah, she didn't take it off for a couple of weeks. So
Oh my goodness.
she was so
Chilled out.
you know, it's just like the ones that can pep you up. Be
Mhm.
careful because it really does have an effect on people.
Yeah, it has a
So,
wonderful effect. It just depends
Yeah.
on what effect are you wanting it to
yeah,
have.
and
That's
she
the
didn't want to
question.
be that mellow. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was really cool. But then
Hilarious.
next, throat chakra. So the third eye. Third eye is dark blue.
Dark
but-
blue and purples.
Yeah, like your stone is good for third eye
Mhm.
or throat chakra,
Get
either
the
one.
azure, right?
Cobalt is really good for third eye.
Amethyst. we talked
Amethyst
about.
is good for third eye. Yep, any of those dark blue into purple, dark purple colors are good for that. It helps open up the third eye. It helps your intuition, helps you get in tune with that a lot easier. Yeah, lepidolite would be okay for that too. Lepidolite maybe is more of a crown chakra, but because it's a lighter purple.
Yeah.
Crown chakra then is a violet, so a light purple. If you have a really light colored amethyst is good. Also clear quartz.
Yeah.
Clear quartz is my favorite stone for the crown chakra, but I'm kind of drawn to quartz. Quartz is the first stone I learned about way back when I was in my 20s. I started really learning about quartz and studying it, and I've always been really drawn to quartz.
It's great for
So,
everything. And that's,
yeah,
it's really an all full body healer too. So quartz you
Right.
can use in any chakra as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
but it is great for the crown chakra. And so is selenite. Selenite's a good
Yeah.
crown chakra stone.
Yeah.
It can be a little much for people sometimes for a long period of time or for a full healing session
Mhm.
to have it sit in the crown chakra, but some people can handle it and some people it's too
Right.
much.
Yeah, yeah. So there you have a little bit of the chakra stones, what to use. Remember, just go with what you're drawn to, even if it's the wrong color, but look into the chakras and how the stones can help you. The stones will help balance the chakras. If they're spinning too fast or out of whack, and sometimes chakras can resonate the wrong color. And if you use the stone that belongs with that chakra, it'll help balance that out. And there's a lot to know about the chakras, but even the basics will help you. Just carrying a stone of that color, you'll feel a difference. So quartz is another stone that will amplify your other stones too. So whatever properties you're looking for, like say you need some help with your root chakra, you're not feeling abundant or you're not feeling stable in your life, carrying a quartz along with a red jasper will amplify that. So any stone, quartz will amplify.
I think we should talk just for a few minutes. I mean, there's so much to learn about rocks. And
Yeah,
so
we
much
could talk all night about.
we could talk for days.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
yeah.
But
we
one
do
thing
have a time limit.
we do have a time limit today. But I did want to say maybe a couple things about how to select your stones, because that's a question I get a lot, is how do I know what's right for me? How do I select my stones? And there's a lot of different ways.
Right.
You talked already about paying attention to what you're drawn to. And one thing that I like to do when I go into a rock shop, or it's a place that I'm going to go pick rocks, or I'm going to go rock picking, I'll go, okay, so what's my intention? I would like to work on my throat chakra. So help me to find a stone that will work with my throat chakra. And then I wander, and then whatever I'm drawn to, those are the ones that I pick up. And so if you're drawn to a particular stone, you might be like, that's not the prettiest stone though, but that's the one that I want.
Right.
Pay attention to that, because it's calling you for a reason. Like we said, each stone has its own vibration, just like you do. And one stone, whether it's the prettiest one or not, might vibrate really well and resonate with your personal vibration, with your personal electromagnetic field. And that's the one for you. So pay attention to that. So that's one way.
Yeah. Another way is, like you said, if you're looking for blue stones to work with your throat chakra and you see a bowl of them at the rock shop, or, a container of them, kind of pull out the ones that you're drawn to, and you can lay them on the table, and you can run your hand over them and they'll heat up. The one that wants to be with you will heat up, or maybe it'll make your hand cold. Whatever that is, you'll feel it, and you'll be drawn to the one that wants to work with you.
Yeah. And sometimes even you'll feel a vibration when you go over it.
Yeah.
For me, that's a big one for me. For my younger sister, it's hot, cold. Like this one just got super hot in my hand.
Yeah.
For me, it's vibration. So I like to actually pick up this. So you can either put my hand over it or I can pick it up. I like to pick them up like maybe 2 at a time and see which one I feel the resonance with. I feel that vibration in my hand, which one is for me. And that's really cool. But I'm very sensitive to energy. So, but some people try it. You never know until you try, which is the way that works best for you to pick something.
Yeah. Another way you can do is hold it to your heart and stand up straight with your feet, just hip width apart, and ask, is this the stone that I need today? And you'll feel yourself move forward if it's a yes, or backwards if it's a no. And you kind of feel it in your pelvic area. It'll just it'll push you forward or back.
You'll be pulled forward.
And
for people that experience that for the first time, it's a type of muscle testing that we use for all sorts of different things. But for the first time, sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, that feels so weird. I didn't expect it to pull me like that. But your body knows.
Your body knows what's best for you. So start learning to listen to your body.
Yes.
Because it is.
Your body is a
It'll
wise
never
extension of
steer
self.
you wrong. Right. So it's good. Anything else with the selection?
I think it's really about just setting your intention first,
Mhm.
and then choosing which one of these ways that you want to kind of try to choose a stone for yourself. And then go from there. But it can be a really fun process.
The sway method, we used to teach customers that when they came to our shop, because sometimes you have a little budget to work with and you have all these stones that you think you want, but really you don't need all of those. So it's a good idea to do that, holding it and seeing if that's the one you really need. And you can ask, because maybe it's a favorite one that you really, really want. Go ahead and get it. But if you take the ones that you need right then, and you can ask, do I need this today? And your body will tell you. Maybe in a week you'll come in and that is the stone you need that time, but pay attention and listen to your body, because it really knows.
It will tell you. It's an extension of who you are, extension of your higher self and your soul. And so pay attention to what your body has to tell you. It's something that we've talked about before, and it's something we will talk about again, I'm sure.
All the time. Will sound like a broken record, but it's true.
It is true.
Pay attention to it. So that's an easy way to select what you need in the moment, if you're working on a certain thing. Another thing, we have stacks of books here.
We do.
For rocks, but
we like books.
This Crystal Prescriptions is a book by Judy Hall, an amazing author about rocks and teacher of rocks, passed away, but all of her books are still available, and they're so good.
They're so good.
So this one, you can look up what you're working on, like say you want to you have aches and pains, it'll tell you what kind of stone is good for the aches and pains. You have acne, it'll tell you what stones, addictions, whatever it is that you're working on in your life, it'll suggest different stones that you could then go look and see if that stone feels good to you, if it muscle tests right for you for what you need, and use that. There's I think 5 different versions of this book now, but this is this is a good one for
It's a
that.
great book.
Yeah.
This one is another one. It's called The Crystal Bible, also by Judy Hall. She, like I said, she's a great author.
Yeah.
And it's the definitive guide to crystals. So it has over 200 crystals in it, and it tells you about them, their different properties, how you can use them, all sorts of information in here. It's a really absolutely great one. And
Yeah.
it tells you how to use it for healing, tells you how to use it for pretty much anything,
Yeah.
for your spaces, for yourself, everything. I love that one.
And another
both
thing
have it.
about, yeah, one of my favorites too. Another thing about Judy Hall, all of her books have really good pictures. And, you know, some books, they don't really, it's hard to tell a rock by a picture.
It is.
But the pictures in the books that she does, Crystal Prescriptions doesn't have pictures, but the Bible, Crystal Bible does. And it really gives you a good picture. So you'll be able to tell what they really look like, where some of them aren't as good.
Right.
Another one of Judy Hall's, I think the last one of hers that we have with
Yeah.
us today is 101 Power Crystals. And this one is good and it has big pictures. So, and they're really good. So you can really tell what they look
Yeah.
like in person with this book. A really good beginner book is this one. So there we go.
I have another one that I really love, and I use some of the principles it teaches and things in my crystal healing work. It's called Crystal Grids by Hibiscus Moon, and she has a lot of information, especially on the internet. And this is one of her books. It's a really great book, especially if you're looking into healing for yourself or for others. It's a really good starter book for that. It tells you a lot of like scientific information and how crystals work and how to use crystal grids and different ones to use and stones and stuff. It's a really good one if you're looking to get into that kind of work as well.
And we'll maybe do just a podcast on crystal grids sometime, because that's a really cool thing to start doing to really change the energy of your home or your yard or anything really.
Right.
Carissa does crystal grids with water and energy work with that. So really cool stuff.
I do angel work with crystal grids along with my waters and the stones as well, my angel stones.
Yeah.
So it's really fun.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it's such a topic that we just love.
Do a podcast about that sometime.
Yes. And then this is the last one that I have with me today, and it's called Crystal Healing. And it's Practical Guide to Using Crystals for Health and Wellbeing by Simon and Sue Lilly. And this is a really great book that I stole from Tracy's Rock Shop. I didn't steal it, she gave it to me. But I love it. It's such a good book. It has so much wonderful, I mean, you can see all the tabs in it, right?
Yeah.
It has so much good information in it. Talks about different patterns you can use, talks about how to balance, tells about different layouts. It also has crystal grids and things in it as well. So if you're looking for another book that's really comprehensive and it really has to do with healing, this is a great one.
That's awesome. Another one that I used daily, and mine is very well worn out and highlighted.
I also have this one, of
It
course.
is, the Book of Stones, Who They Are and What They Teach by Robert Simmons and Nyasha Ossian. Not sure how to pronounce her
Naisha
name, but
Ossian or something like that.
so this one is another one that has really good pictures that are true to what the stones look like. There is a newer version that is kind of a teal color now, I think. I have this, and then he had a new one that was updated with some other stones in it, but any of them by Robert Simmons are good. These books tell a little bit about the physical, scientific, and if you're a rock hound, just like to collect, it talks about that.
A little bit more geology mixed in along with
the energy
and properties of the stones.
So it'll give the physical, emotional properties and the physical properties. So those are really good books if you love to research. I just love those. So that's kind of it for our books for now.
Yeah, I think
anything
today
else?
we've gone through so many things.
Yeah,
We want to
that's
let
a
you
lot.
absorb it. And I
That's
mean,
a
we'll
lot.
go into more work with stones later because it's such a beautiful topic. It's a one that we
Yeah.
adore and one that we use in our everyday lives, and we want to share more and more with you. But
Yeah.
we don't want to make the longest podcast on the face of the planet today. So
Right. And we
we'll
don't
have
want to
backtrack.
overwhelm you either, because that was a lot
It
to
was
take
a
in.
lot, even though it
But-
was very basic. At the same time, if you're new to working with crystals and stones, it's some good information for you to take with you. Even if
Yeah.
you are really into crystals and stones already, hopefully you got some nuggets out of this one as well.
Yeah. Some nerd nuggets.
Nerd nuggets. If nothing else, you now know the word piezoelectric effect, and you can use it
Right.
to impress your friends.
And I can never remember that word. So that's why Carissa talks about that.
Because I love it. I'm a science nerd, and it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's all we have for today. But it was fun to share our passion of crystals and rocks with you. You know, we could talk about it for hours, but
Yes. And we also want to know
No.
your questions.
right.
So if there's
yeah.
things that you want to know that we can teach about in a future podcast, which
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll touch on a lot of different stuff with the rocks, but we want to know what you want to know.
Yeah.
So share with us in the comments. Let us know if there's anything that resonated with you or
Mhm.
questions or whatever. We're happy to answer, and we can't wait to keep communicating with you and,
Yeah.
and
If you have
staying
a
on our podcast.
If you have a favorite stone, put it in the comments. We'd love to hear what that is for you.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. We want to share. Plus, we can always share with you if you want to know something about a particular stone. We can always share that info with you too.
Yeah, ask a question for sure. We will watch for our comments.
Yes.
Carissa, how can we find you?
Oh, you can find me at Light of Hope Healing on Facebook, and also at our SoulSpace on Facebook, in addition to this podcast. What about you, Tracy?
Yeah. I have a website, inspiredsignals.com. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram at Inspired Signals. So yeah. And our SoulSpace, we do that one together. That's our office name. So
Yeah.
that is a fun place to find us. So yeah, welcome. Thank you.
Thanks
for
for being
watching,
here with us today
listening.
again for our lucky number 13 podcast.
Yeah.
We look
That's a
forward to
good
seeing
one
you
to
guys.
do with rocks.
Yes, it is.
That wasn't planned that
That's
way,
so
but-
perfect. No, it's so perfect. But
Yeah.
we look forward to seeing you guys again next week.
Yeah.
We have more exciting things to talk about. And again, always let us know what you want to know about. We're happy to answer.
Yeah. See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.